You can play your cards.
Hi, this is Tom from Millennium Blackjack. Welcome back. This is part 2 of a short history of Blackjack. And if you haven't seen part 1, check part 1. And now on part 2, where we are talking about Professor Edward Thorp as he takes a basic strategy to the next level of card counting. Professor Edward Thorp then published his investigation using high computer, IBM computers that he had in his department, and doing it during the night or during his spare time to do research on blackjack, and published in this Beat the Dealer, a winning strategy for the game of 21, which is the bestseller blackjack book of all time. So like we said previously, Professor Edward Thorp, after he did his study on computers, he did go to Las Vegas a number of trips to see if his method that in the computer he has found out that he can have an advantage over the house when the high cards are still coming out, when you will be betting high, or if the low cards are remaining, you will be betting less. So he did this and he found out that indeed this method works. But however, the casinos were not really convinced that there's such a method that could work. So they continue dishing out the blackjack games like they have before. Now that a lot of players were now aware of this method, a lot of players rushed into the casinos to try this method. But however, the majority of these people playing this game either didn't study well to understand the concept very well of card counting, also combining it with money management, because for you to be successful card counter at that time, you need to note what is your advantage over the house and the amount of bet that you're going to be betting. It must avoid risk of ruin. In other words, you must bet according to the advantage that you are having, using so-called Kelly criterion. so that you don't have a risk of ruin. So some just went in and that they're gonna make money, and indeed they just lose everything. For that reason, casino, not that a lot of blackjack players were coming into the casino with an confidence that they're gonna make lots of money, pushing lots of money. Casinos were making lots of money. For that reason, casinos never take cognizance that the method, so-called card counting, really works. The only time they took notice that this method works was when Professor Edward Thorp did a revision. That's the second edition of this book of card counting in 1966. Then they really take notice that indeed this method does work. That's when the casinos officially acknowledge that indeed this method works, and for that reason they will have to take some measures to avert blackjack players taking out profits out of their bottom line. For that reason, you'll find that then casinos then will have a notice that they can ban anybody in their property if they suspect that the person might be card counting. And also they also have the so-called Brown agency, where they will hire a agency which I think the headquarters was in Las Vegas, so-called Brown agency. So they will document all the people that are suspected of being card counters, so that the casinos will then report when somebody is playing and is winning largely and they suspect that is somebody is counting. They will then report to this Brown agency in the so-called Brown book. Then somebody will then be in that list of the person suspected. And if the casino so wish that this person is winning obscene amounts of money that is affecting their bottom line or risking their, then they will then ban such a person. So then Edward Thorp, after this, he sort of left the scene of blackjack and card counting. He had a huge success in this. Then he developed a method of investment where he had a formula on how to invest in the stock market, what stocks might be profitable using mathematical formula and so on. So that was the second phase after sort of a step of blackjack. And that's where he made a lot of money. He sort of became almost a billionaire, because the last part I saw, it was said to be worth $840 million US. It was mainly now through these stock investment strategies that he developed using mathematical formulas that he learned sort of from blackjack to the stock market, and then he sort of left completely the blackjack scene. And then the next person who came into the scene is the most popular card counter in blackjack history, and that's Ken Uston. Ken Uston was the vice president of the Asian Pacific Exchange in California. He then learned through some of the professional blackjack players that will be from California. Over the weekend, they will go to Las Vegas and play Friday night, Saturday, and early Sunday, then going back to California late Sunday afternoon to go back to their job. So he learned, so he was inquisitive, then asking what are they doing and so on. That's when he started learning about blackjack. So once he learned about blackjack, he also joined them to do the same, where over the weekend he would fly from California to Las Vegas and play over the weekend. So after a few months or so, what he realized that the amount of the money that will make just over the weekend stint was maybe the same that he will be making as the vice president of the Asian Pacific Exchange. For that reason, he eventually left his job as the vice president of the Asian Pacific Exchange to play blackjack full time. So that's how. So Ken Uston was very good at this, and also he became quite a character in the sense that once he became very successful playing at blackjack, he was also very flamboyant in that he would then appear in TV shows talking about his exploits in blackjack and so on, and that's how he became very popular and is now regarded as the most popular blackjack counter in history. So subsequent to that, he also wrote his own books. The most popular one is $1 Million Blackjack. Then he also had a third of the shoe. That's the Stratosphere, which is the tallest building in North America. So when it was built, 6 people fell from the building and died. And it's got a restaurant called Top of the World, and also a sky jump down. It's quite amazing. As this Stratosphere, which is the casino that is in between the strip, which is now where the big casinos are, and downtown, where the small casinos are, where it all started in 1909 with the Golden Gate. Was the first casino in Las Vegas in downtown, and the first casino in the main strip is the Flamingo.